Okay, so let's give a quick background. This is our official first video after 1 year in our channel.
Congratulations. Welcome back, man.
Thanks. So we've been busy doing other stuff and also working our ass always on Amazon, providing a lot of content. We just did some calculation. We have optimized around 15,000 SKUs last year. It's amazing. We have been optimizing 15,000 listings for Amazon last year. So this is also a good accomplishment. And I'm really happy that you invited me to the summit in Japan, the Mastermind that we've been waiting for. Why is this so exciting? Because correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but this is the first real important Amazon conference after COVID in Asia, right?
This is the first ever Amazon conference in Japan for Amazon sellers. There's not even been one in Japanese, let alone in English. So it's like, the coming out party for Japan, for Amazon sellers. So we're getting together a really great group of speakers, sellers, and we have and Amazon is coming as well. So, Jeff Cohen from Seattle, Amazon's office, he's flying all the way here to Tokyo. So, I mean, it's going to be an amazing event. Super excited.
That's great. Let's say hello to Jeff. I've appeared in his podcast, I think, once or twice. So it would be good to catch up after a few years. Yeah, we're discussing some interesting things. So, but is my assumption correct? Is it true that this is the first real, conference for Amazon sellers right after COVID? Because I remember doing, I've been participating to a lot of conferences. We had conferences mostly in Hong Kong, the Global Sources. And I think Global Sources hasn't been hosting the Amazon conference anymore, right? Since COVID.
I think they were doing the virtual version of that, but I'm not sure
In
if they've done a
presence.
physical one. Yeah, I think we probably are. I mean, Hong Kong and, Japan didn't open until late last year. So I think we are actually
Yeah.
post-COVID. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, on an international scale, because I don't really remember any speaker from the US flying into Asia since COVID. I'm not aware of that. So, Gary, where are you right now? What is going on?
Okay, I'm actually in probably the most famous intersection in Tokyo, Shibuya Crossing. So it's literally the busiest intersection in the world. There's 1 million people crossing all over here. And Japan has fully reopened since COVID. Everything's open. I mean, we still wear masks and stuff, but I mean, there's no restriction on I don't think anything. So yeah, it's back to normal. And yeah, that's where I am. This is the
Super
epicenter
cool.
of Japan, man.
And you are hosting in Tokyo, so the seven-figure seller summit for Amazon sellers. And tell us, why should Amazon sellers join your summit, your mastermind? What are we going to teach in this amazing mastermind? I really can't wait to come there.
Definitely. Well, Japan is actually Amazon's number 4 biggest market, but almost nobody is talking about Japan, which is kind of ridiculous. More people are talking about UAE and other very small marketplaces, and the level of competition in Japan is actually a lot lower than many of the other markets. So, I mean, with that, I feel like it's a big opportunity because most sellers, they're just overlooking Japan. I mean, so, our main thing is we want to help Amazon sellers that are already selling in US or Europe to bring their products to Japan. I mean, there's a number of advantages if you're already selling. We can talk a little bit more about that. But basically, it's going to be a 2-day in-person mastermind. We're going to have actual 8-figure, 7-figure Amazon Japan sellers. And then also something different about our event is we're, selling in Japan, you need to, there's different regulations about importing and compliance and, not to mention the language. So we're going to have experts in all of those areas. So basically any question you have, we're going to get answered, right? And everyone's going to be in the same room. So, I mean, that's the main goal. for the event. And also, like a side note, it's going to be the best time of year to visit Japan because it's going to be the cherry blossom season. And we're actually going to do a very unique Japan cherry blossom night out underneath the cherry blossom trees. So we're gonna have some good drinks, some good food, like some sake, some sushi.
Which day is that? Which day is that?
That's gonna be the first day. That's going to be April 4th in the evening. So everyone that's coming is invited, and it's gonna be a unique Japan experience you cannot get anywhere else in the world. On top of everything you'll learn to sell into Amazon Japan.
I do really miss the networking with the community, and I'm really excited, to come to Japan. It's not my first time. I've been in Tokyo already 2 times before. I've been in Osaka. It's an amazing place. Guys, this is really the best time to visit Japan. So this is an amazing opportunity. It's peak season. It's cherry blossom season. I haven't been during cherry blossom actually, so that's gonna be the first time for me during the sakura. You call it sakura, right?
Sakura, that's right. Yeah, good Japanese, man.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying to do my best. So, Gary, so what can we expect at the Mastermind in Tokyo? That is going to happen, by the way, April 4th and 5th. So what are we going to expect? Who's going to speak? How is the schedule looking like? What are we going to do?
So the main goal is to help Amazon sellers sell an additional 300K US to up to 960K US in Japan. And then we've had case studies of US brands actually doing that. So on day 1, we're going to kick things off. We're going to lay out the roadmap to selling 965,000 in Amazon Japan. And then we're going to have Nick Katz. He's a 7-figure Amazon seller in Japan. He's lived in Japan for 30 plus years, fluent in Japanese. He knows everything like selling in Japan A to Z. So he's really going to lay out the roadmap, how to do this step by step. And then we're going to walk you through all of the different steps, from, product market fit, how your product in the US, may sell in Japan or maybe not, right? We're going to look at ways to do the research, the validation. I mean, there's tools out there as well. Helium 10 is going to be here as well. Bradley Sutton, Packview, they're sponsoring as well. So we're going to show you how to use the tools for Japan. And we're also going to have all of the importing. I know like importing is a big challenge because you cannot use like a US LLC to import to Japan. You have to use what they call a Japanese importer of record. So we're going to have this company here. So they're going to spell it out. And I think the beauty of it is, any question you have or, who do I talk to? Okay, just talk to that guy right there. Oh, I need, Japanese PPC. Who should I talk to? Oh, Ritu Java. She's going to be here as well, right? She's like the award-winning speaker at BDSS. She's lived 17 years in Japan, and she helped me with my Amazon Japanese listing. So, I mean, I think anyone that comes, you guys will be like the pioneers, like the first movers, because, very few people selling in Japan. Only about 170,000 sellers selling in Japan compared to about 1.1 million active sellers in US. So it's like 8 times less competition. So, and we're also going to have masterminds and copy breakout sessions throughout the day as well. So that way, after the talks, you have a chance to go, meet with the speakers. It's not going to be a huge event, guys. I mean, I thought a lot about it and I decided to make it intimate. So we're only going to get about 50 people, right? Okay. So that means you'll get a lot more one-on-one time with the speakers, with the other sellers, whether it's in the conference or maybe it's, at the bar or maybe at karaoke afterwards. There's going to be like a lot of opportunities to learn, but also to build networks, friendships as well. Because, I think even like, David, you and me, like we met, I think briefly in Hong Kong at one of those conferences many years ago. That's how like these relationships and, networks for your business, that's how it's born.
I think we did meet also in China, in Shenzhen, probably at one of the events of Mike Michelini.
We may have, maybe Mike Michelini's, cross-border, maybe. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the other thing because, we have the kind of stuff behind the computer screen because of COVID for many years. So I think now is a great time to, re-engage, talk to a lot of other sellers. I mean, there's going to be like some like very sharp sellers in the room, like, people like Brandon Young, he's coming here to learn. Like he's not one of the speakers. I mean, he's coming to learn how to,
Oh, that's amazing.
an 8-figure brand enter into Japan. So you'll be sitting alongside him, like other guys as well. There's like other 7-figure sellers and, there's 6-figure sellers as well. Right. So I think, it's going to be a great learning opportunity. For a lot of sellers.
Let me stop you for a quick second. I just saw behind your back there was a track with a LED screen. These are normal things that you would see in Japan. It just passed by like two seconds before, and the track was changing. The side of the track was changing like a screen. That's crazy. So, guys, you should definitely visit Japan.
You guys should come. You guys should really come. It's not as expensive as before. I mean, 1 minute. Okay, because I was talking to my friend Mike Jackness earlier today. Japan is his favorite place, but he's like, "Oh, it's so expensive, Gary." But actually, the Japanese yen is at like a historic low right now. Mm-hmm. So you might be surprised. Things are not as expensive as you might think because the yen is at like a 30-year low right now. And then with inflation in North America, it might actually be a surprise in a good way.
Yeah.
When you guys do come.
Yeah. I can add a side note to that. I think living in Japan is not that expensive, and actually, what is getting expensive is Thailand. Bangkok is getting expensive. I mean, it's a good thing because there is a lot of business coming in. The city is developing a lot, but I can tell you, it's not the cheap Thailand that it used to be. And I mean, personally, for me, also for talking about some logistic, I had to pay a little bit extra because I just wanted to have a direct flight from Bangkok, and this is peak season, so yeah, I ended up paying a good amount of money. But if you're willing to have a stopover, it's not that expensive to get to Tokyo right now, even though it's peak season. You were mentioning that I think Nick is the seller that is selling in Japan, right? You were mentioning he's been living in Japan for 30 years. What about someone who doesn't speak the language? If I can't speak Japanese, can I actually sell in Japan? Is it going to be easy for me?
Yes, I don't really speak Japanese. I'm kind of embarrassed. And you can sell in Japan. I mean, number one is Amazon Seller Central. Amazon Japan Seller Central is entirely in English. So it's the same interface. Okay. Amazon.co.jp, the Japanese website. This is like a kind of like a hack. There's a language setting. You can change it to English. So that way it automatically translates everything into English. So if you want to do some quick, keyword research first on your product in Amazon Japan, go to the site, type in your keyword in English, and then you can see if your competitors are there. Okay. And then tools like Helium 10, Jungle Scout. I mean, we're already familiar with these tools. They support Japan already. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, when you do the searches, if you grab like the ASIN, you do a reverse ASIN search, all the keywords are going to be in Japanese. But let me give you a quick tip, guys. If you don't speak Japanese like me, you can actually use Google Sheets, copy and paste all of those Japanese keywords in one column in Google Sheets. And then next column, use the Google Translate. There's a formula. You can translate from Japanese into English. Everything is just in one go for free. So once you do that, then you can get an idea about, what keywords their competitors are ranking for. So you can get started without knowing any Japanese. Obviously, for customer service, you got to be able to provide Japanese. So, what I did when I first started, I hired a part-time Japanese virtual assistant, a VA. So that's one way you can do it. And right now, recently, I'm sure, with ChatGPT, I mean, you're probably, everyone's using that, right? Yeah. ChatGPT, the translation function, is much better than Google Translate. I actually showed my former Japanese VA, I used ChatGPT to translate like a customer support ticket from English to Japanese. And he was shocked. Yeah. He's like, dude, that's like perfect. This is from a native Japanese speaker. So ChatGPT, I'm not saying that can replace, everything, but, as entrepreneurs, you and me and everyone watching, we got to be resourceful, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
There's ways that, we can get around that.
Yeah, otherwise, Gary has got a lot of resources to put you in touch with because he knows PPC guys in Japan, Amazon guys in Japan, translation VAs. We also do provide translation for every language where Amazon operates, including Japanese. So we have been doing listings in all languages, so you guys can get in touch with us. And talking about us, and also about Gary, so we have published this blog post on our blog on how to start selling in Japan following 7 easy steps. This is actually a guest blog post that was provided by Gary and his team. So you can just go and check it out. We have 7 easy steps. Gary, would you like to give us, a little bit of a deeper insight on one of those steps? I can just remind it for you guys. So the first step is the product market fit analysis. The second step is check product regulations. Then be aware of compliance and testing cost. Transfer brand registry to Japan. That might be interesting. 5, get translation done for your Amazon listing. Number 6, localization for your Amazon product. And number 7 is get ready finally to sell in Amazon Japan. So Gary, do you have any insight that you want to give us if you want to explore more one of those points for our listeners?
Yeah, I think one big advantage if you guys are already selling in US Amazon or Amazon Europe is, let's say your listing has a couple hundred reviews. Let's say you already have 500 reviews.com. When you decide to sell in Japan, you can actually move those reviews. You can carry them over to Japan. So starting out from day one with no sales history, you already have 500 reviews. It's even more powerful in Amazon Japan because the average review threshold in Japan is lower than in the US, than in Europe. So immediately you're going to be one of the most highest number of reviewed listings, right? So that helps with trust because Japanese shoppers, they like to see listings with high review counts, right? And then that also helps with social proof. So when you run your PPC, it's not like a 0 review listing. It already has 500 reviews. That can help lower your PPC costs as well. So that's kind of like a little known fact. You can move your listings, the global reviews. So if you do decide to do it, I mean, if you have like a seasoned SKU, you have the advantage already, starting out. That's just one thing. But yeah, there's a lot of other things. I mean, the challenges is, I think the main thing is like the importing and also compliance testing, because the Japanese regulations, they're a little different. Anything that like touches food or drink, you've got to have compliance testing. So definitely talk to an importer about that. One of my products that I was thinking about selling in Japan is in the kitchen category. So I've been selling in the US for many years, and then it's a 6-figure brand. And then I wanted to sell in Japan. I did quick research. There was nobody else selling it. I'm like, wow, this is so much opportunity, right? Yeah. But not so fast. Fortunately, I talked to the compliance person, and then I found out that the Japanese law is a little different. So this product, it can only be used in professional kitchens. It cannot be used in a consumer home. Oh, okay. So if I imported it, there's no way I could sell it on Amazon. I'll be stuck, right? Yeah. Maybe I try to FBA, they'll force me to take it out.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Another big tip is make sure you talk to an importer familiar with Japan, so they can, warn you about any potential, regulations or, compliance tests that you have to go through. That's one of the big ones.
Yeah. So that was really interesting. And I think we want to keep this very, very brief. So we want to, give more curiosity to our listener to actually see what's going to happen in Tokyo in just 2 weeks from now. So it's starting on Tuesday, number 4, April 4th. Is that correct?
Yes, day 1 is Tuesday, but we're actually going to do a pre-event networking the night before. So day 0 on April 3rd, we're going to have an evening networking reception in what they call like the izakaya, which is like a.
I will be there.
You know what that is, right? It's like yeah. So
I will definitely be there.
yeah, it's like a casual bar / Japanese restaurant. They have like those like yakiniku, like those barbecue meats, sushi appetizers, and there'll be drinks as well. So the people will be able to get to know people first. Kind of like icebreaker before the event actually starts. Yeah. So that's like the warm up. Yeah.
That's great.
And then, so we have the 2 full days, and then we're doing some fun stuff as well afterwards. If we have time, we'll talk more about that.
For sure, for sure. I mean, Tokyo is an amazing city. There's a lot of things to do. So, guys, check out the Seven Figure Seller Summit in Tokyo that is going to happen. We do have a discount code that we will share here in the description below with the link. So you can save $300, I think, on the ticket. And I will leave down all the links and also contact for Gary personally, your email. Also any other link that you want Gary to share with our audience. We'll leave a link to our blog post so you can read more in detail. And if you want to have more details, definitely get in touch with Gary or with us. And don't miss this opportunity to learn how to sell in Amazon Japan by actually joining the summit. That is going to be definitely amazing. Gary, so thank you so much for for joining our show today, and yeah, I'll see you definitely soon. Is there anything else you would like to say?
I think it's like the mindset, right? A lot of people, entrepreneurs, they see there's a lot of obstacles in the way, but if you can get through or get over the obstacles to start selling in Japan, all of these obstacles, they're like a barrier to entry against your competition. It's like a moat around your business. So just think of it that way, guys. It is a challenge. I'm not saying this is easy, but anyone that accomplishes it, you'll have this advantage on your side. So I hope to see you guys in Tokyo. And thank you so much for having me.
See you soon. I also hope to see you guys there. See you very soon, Gary. And I'm very excited to see all of our friends that we didn't see for a long time. All right. Take care. Thank you so much. See you soon.